Morning, Memphis and Mid-South. I'm Kristen Talent. 6 o'clock on your Saturday morning, and we do have some breaking news into the Fox 13 newsroom this morning. The Associated Press reporting that the U.S. and Russia have reached an agreement in seizing Syria's chemical weapons. Secretary of State John Kerry and the Russian foreign minister have been in tense negotiations for the last 3 days. The two say the deal requires that Syria follows a set timetable and they must destroy their chemical weapons. If the country fails to do so, leaders say they will then seek authorization from military action from the UN. We'll continue to follow this story for you this morning. And now a look at some of the other top stories this morning. Thousands of people once stranded by floodwaters in the Colorado Rockies have now been evacuated. Local rescuers teaming up with the National Guard to help about 2,500 people leave from the mountain communities cut off by rushing waters. 4 people have died due to those flooding waters. And 2 friends of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, plead not guilty to charges of lying to investigators and conspiring to obstruct justice. Police say the 2 men took a laptop and a backpack containing empty fireworks shells from Tsarnaev's room. And now to Texas. Six Flags announcing plans to reopen the roller coaster from which a woman fell to her death back in July. The Texas Giant is expected to open this weekend, and it now has seat belts and redesigned restraint bar pads. Meanwhile, the woman's family has filed a wrongful death lawsuit, but Six Flags says it found no mechanical failure on the ride. All right, time to check in with Wendy and a look at our Saturday morning weather, and it's gorgeous out there so far, Wendy.
We're off to a great start for a wonderful day for the Mid-South. And Morgan, camera operator, walked in. The first thing she said was, "It's cold outside. It's cold." You know, Morgan, we have had some really hot weather here lately. This is our fall. You need to embrace the fall. All right, embrace it. Our temperatures outdoors are so nice, Morgan. They feel great. Check out right now one of our local sites. Let's check in with Forest City. I think, Forest City. Why not? 59 degrees. Now, you're going to factor in those winds from the northeast at 7 miles per hour. And instead of the heat index, it's kind of like a wind chill. It feels more like 57. We have twinkling stars overhead and not too many clouds. Checking in with TrueView, you're going to see the clouds are over toward Oklahoma City, Wichita, Dallas. Here in the Mid-South, our skies are clear. We didn't have any of those clouds to act as a little insulating blanket overnight, so temperatures have dropped down, guys. We're waking up to the mid-50s. This is up 20 degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday, but we're going to see plenty of sunshine around lunchtime, the mid-70s. Hey, I love this. You know what? I didn't even want to put an 80-degree up there, so I'm not. 79 should be today's afternoon high with a good deal of sunshine. Perfect weather for anything outdoors today. Enjoy. No humidity. Lots of sunshine. Fall is in the air.
So happy to hear that. Morgan's wrapped up in a sweatshirt here in the studio. First on Fox, as Wendy just said, today's weather should be nice, and that's certainly coming as good news for the crowds of folks visiting the Bluff City for the 24th Annual Southern Heritage Classic. Fox 13's Matt Guerin joins us live from Tiger Lane. And Matt, how's it looking out there so far this morning?
Hey, Kristen, it looks great out here. And you know what? We definitely do feel a bit of a chill in the air, but you know what I call this? This is football weather out here. Big football game coming up today at the Liberty Bowl. Beautiful morning here. The lights are on. The sun is starting to rise here at the stadium, and it's a big day. Not too many people out here at the tailgates yet, but around you can see some people starting to get ready. Obviously, this is all about much more than a football game. This is really an incredible community gathering here, the Southern Heritage Classic. Last night, we actually had a chance to come by and see some of the people here that were getting a head start on all the tailgating. Of course, tens of thousands of people will be showing up to this game tonight. It starts at 6 o'clock, but it's a full day of festivities. People we saw out here were really getting a head start on things. Some of the people that are tailgating, they're not even going to the game. So there's just tens of thousands of people that are coming out here. Take it pretty seriously, some pretty big setups. We had a chance to talk to some of the tailgaters about what they're up to and what they're looking forward to about this whole thing.
At least $1,000 to get you started. At least as far as your food for 4 days. I mean, we come out here from Thursday to Sunday every year, so at least $1,000.
It's just a great tradition in the South. People want to see this. It's entertaining. And then, of course, you add to it all of this revelry out here. It just makes it bigger and better for Memphis and for all the fans.
You will see hundreds of thousands, I guess, in attendance, and it's just a beautiful atmosphere.
Already this morning, some of the people are starting to cook. We can smell that the barbecue in the air here. Of course, this is the 24th meeting of Jackson State and Tennessee State. It's really become a tradition here. In a 24th game, it's actually the 22nd meeting of Jackson State and Tennessee State. And such a tradition. Thursday and Friday of this week, there have already been a lot of events going on. Parties, luncheons, all sorts of things. And today, Saturday, is just jam-packed full of activities. Coming up, we're going to have a full schedule in case you're wondering about what's going on, where things are going to be happening around town. We'll tell you about that, and we'll be here all morning keeping up on things. And I'm sure this area here, Tiger Lane, is going to really start filling in with some of those tailgaters, Kristen, and expecting it to be a great day. And, of course, we got this football weather out here. Game time at 6 o'clock tonight, so we'll have the whole story for you. But for now, back to you in the studio, Kristen.
That's Matt. What a beautiful shot there behind him this morning. On just some developing news this morning, police are looking for an armed robber who targeted a local daycare while kids were in the building. Memphis police say yesterday around noon, a gunman slipped into a daycare, moving from classroom to classroom, robbing the staff. One of the rooms was actually filled with 3-year-old children taking a nap. Staff members say the man pointed the gun directly in their face, but investigators praise the staff for keeping the children safe in a very dangerous situation.
But when I seen the mask, I actually thought someone, like playing, making a joke or something, until when he actually pulled the gun up and said that it was for real.
It's just sad that somebody will use, or children learn it. You drop your kids off and you expect them to be safe, but it's just the world we live in.
Now, police say there is surveillance video from the scene, but they are not planning to release any of that footage at this time. They have not released a description of a suspect so far. The good news, we know that no children or adults were injured. It could have been a lot worse. Thankfully, everybody's safe. A former Vanderbilt football player enters a guilty plea for attempting to cover up the alleged rape of an unconscious student. Chris Boyd received an 11-month, 29-day suspended sentence for his role in the crime. The judge says if Boyd completes his probation, his record will be cleared. Prosecutors say Boyd tried to help Brandon Vandenberg, another former football player, and 3 of his teammates cover up their alleged rape of an unconscious young woman. All 4 former players have been charged with rape and are awaiting trial. And in your Health Watch this morning, 2 people in Arkansas are recovering from a strain of H1N1, also known as the swine flu. The Centers for Disease Control has confirmed the 2 people got the flu strain after coming into contact with infected pigs. Both are expected to fully recover, though. Symptoms for swine flu and seasonal flu are similar, but health experts say you can help prevent the spread of infection by washing your hands often with soap and running water, especially after coming into contact with animals. Also, never eat or drink in areas where animals are present. And children under the age of 5, pregnant women, and people 65 years and older should avoid exposure to pigs and other animals at petting zoos. And as the flu season approaches, kids might need to avoid the petting zoo. But good news, because the maze craze is back at the Agri Center. We're talking about the corn maze, and it opened yesterday, and it runs through Halloween. This year's 10-acre design features a mind-boggling design of a brain. Wednesday nights in October are family nights, and parents can take their kids for a free hay ride. And next month, Friday and Saturday nights, patrons will find a haunted maze. The Agri Center is located right off Germantown Parkway. Always a lot of fun to go out there. Some have considered ovarian cancer a silent killer, but one doctor tells us there are symptoms women should be aware of. Stick around. You're watching Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis.
That's awesome. I've arrived when I have a band to lead the forecast. I love it. And this is beautiful, too. Look at that. Look at a beautiful shot of sunrise. And back over here is the Liberty Bowl, where they're having the Southern Heritage Classic. What a gorgeous start to the day. And absolutely perfect football weather forecast in store for us. Let's check in with some local temperatures for you. In Olive Branch, we're waking up to 57 degrees. When you factor in the winds from the northeast around 4 miles per hour, it actually feels more like 56. So instead of the heat index, a little bit of wind chill we're factoring in this morning. No complaints. Taking a look at some of the clouds and radar together. Hey, there's no rain showing up at all because we don't have clouds over the Mid-South. We do have some clouds off to the west across the Plains states and the Midwest, but no, nothing for the Mid-South. We're in pretty good shape. We can zoom in a little closer and you can see that we don't have anything. Lots of twinkling stars overhead and full day of sunshine expected for us today. With clear skies, you'd think temperatures would warm up, but our breezes are going to be from the northeast today, around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and we're starting off on the cool side. 56 degrees on the average across the area, 55 in Marion, 56 degrees in Horn Lake, and around 55 degrees in Somerville, Tennessee. Here's a look across the nation, and those 50s from the Great Lakes have spilled all the way down to the southeast in the heart of Dixie, and we're waking up to some of those great fall-like temperatures. Not a cloud to be seen across much of the southeast. High pressure is dominating our forecast today, and it will be in full control of our weather for today and over the weekend, which means temperatures remain unseasonably cool for this time of the year. We'll see a good deal of sunshine, clear skies, and temperatures will be below normal. Now, normally we should be around 87 degrees for your afternoon high. We won't even make it up into the 80s today. Some locations will be in the 70s, and in the northern areas, maybe some of our viewers, well, to our south, will see temperatures in the 80s, but with a good deal of sunshine today and tomorrow, the next chance we talk about any type of cloud coverage will be on Monday, and as we head into Monday evening. So enjoy it today. Make sure that you have your sunglasses out. You might even need a sweatshirt for the morning hours. We'll warm to about 65 degrees at 9 o'clock, around in the mid-70s. That's it at lunchtime. We're some 20 degrees cooler. And then today's afternoon high temperature, 79 degrees, with winds from the northeast at 5 to 10. Gorgeous. Loads of sunshine today. Tonight, 57, similar to what we're waking up to this morning. Chilly for some folks. I love this, embracing it. For sure. Wide open arms here. Sunday, sunny, 85 degrees. And then, oh, so pleasant weekend wraps up. And we head into next week. The temperature's closer to normal for this time of the year. The next time we're going to talk about rain will occur maybe mid to the latter part of next week. So enjoy your weekend, guys.
All right, thanks so much, Wendy. 6:15 on your Saturday, and according to U.S. medical researchers, ovarian cancer causes more deaths than any other cancer of the female reproductive system. But when found in the early stages, it is most treatable. A Mid-South doctor shares the signs women can look for to protect against what some dub the silent killer. Ovarian cancer often goes undetected until it has spread. Researchers say there are early detection tests, but they're limited to verifying the existence of a mass and not identifying what the mass is. Dr. Eric Gibbons, a gynecologist in Memphis, says the first proactive step is to get checkups on a regular basis.
Well, in general, all women of reproductive age should have an exam every year by a doctor who can do a pelvic exam, either a gynecologist or a family practice doctor who understands women's health and women's anatomy, just to make sure that everything's okay.
Dr. Gibbons stresses with such limited resources for early detection, it is important for women to pay attention to the body and note any unusual changes.
The normal changes that occur with the monthly cycle, they wax and wane, they come and go. But if they persist and the bloating gets worse and doesn't get better, or they're having pain that doesn't get better, then that's the kind of thing to bring to the doctor's attention.
Bloating, abdominal pain, and a change in bathroom habits are common signs associated with ovarian cancer. Confusingly, these are also common symptoms which occur during the menstrual cycle. Dr. Gibbons says the difference is the length of time you feel discomfort.
If patients have pain, a new pain that's persistent for a couple of weeks, something that's not relieved with over-the-counter medication for a couple of weeks, or certainly if it's severe enough that they're doubled over in pain, they need to seek immediate attention.
Also important is paying attention to your family history. The Mayo Clinic in California, known for their research in the fight against various cancers, says only 10 to 15% of female cancers, meaning breast and ovarian, are genetic. Dr. Gibbons says knowing your history can help.
If a woman has a relative who's had ovarian cancer who's still living, that relative should be checked for the common mutations such as BRCA1 and BRCA2 that would identify them as potential carriers of that, and so that woman could then be tested too.
Now, any woman can be tested for DNA makeup, which determines if you have the gene linked to cancer. Most insurance companies will cover the test, but get this, only for cancer survivors. If you have a question about ovarian cancer, just log on to our My Fox Memphis Facebook page and ask. We will have a doctor answer your questions on GMM Saturday in the coming weeks. And now let's send things over to Wendy, who has a guest explaining how you can get involved with the fight against ovarian cancer.
The mission of Ovarian Cancer Awareness Foundation is to educate women on the subtle signs and symptoms of the disease and to provide support for those affected. Susan Moore is with us today. She's a registered nurse and a 10-year survivor of ovarian cancer, and she's here to tell us how we can get involved. So we have a great event that's coming up, Susan.
We do.
And it's all about educating women about ovarian cancer. You're a survivor. How did you get involved in this 5K event, and then what led you?
Well, actually what led me here was with the 5K event is, well, I am a registered nurse, but I recently left education, and as a 10-year survivor, I felt it was important to get the word out to women for the subtle signs and symptoms that this disease causes, because I was lucky. I was really lucky. I was diagnosed on my 23rd wedding anniversary in February of 2003.
Oh, man.
What had happened was I went for my yearly exam in November, and when they did the pelvic exam, I felt some pain on my right side, and my doctor brushed it off as just being a normal part of my cycle. Actually, I got my diagnosis 10 days later when I went back to the doctor. But
well, it is over 20,000 women like you receive the diagnosis of ovarian cancer a year.
Correct.
And some statistics were 8,000 will...
14,000 will die.
will die from it. Oh, that's more than 8,000.
It is. It is.
So this event helps to raise awareness. I mean, we're running for the survivors. We're running for people that may have it.
We are.
And it helps you. You wear teal.
I do.
That's the reason why you're wearing teal, and I'm wearing a little bit of teal, so that it can spread the news.
Exactly.
So maybe you ask for that when you go to the doctor's office.
You should. You should.
It's one of those things that you need to ask for.
It's one of the things that you have to be a little bit proactive in your health. The signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer are bloating, pelvic or abdominal pain, difficulty eating or getting full quickly, and also urinary frequency or urgency.
And you know, we all kind of have those symptoms,
and
we just need to be aware of, and there's something in the back of our head. Let's check this out. Then make sure to log on to myfoxmemphis.com, and there's more information on our Facebook page.
Right.
Thanks for coming.
All right, thanks so much, Wendy. Building homes in honor of 9/11. Fox 13's Ernie Freeman talks to Habitat for Humanity in our Hero of the Week. Plus, a historic neighborhood is ready to entertain you today. The Cooper Young Festival starts a little later on this morning. Stick around. You're watching Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis on your Saturday. Welcome back to Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis. It's been 12 years since the World Trade Center attacks, and this week Fox 13's Ernie Freeman shines a spotlight on a group of volunteers who choose to volunteer in honor of those who lost their lives on 9/11. Here's this week's Hero of the Week.
In the aftermath of tragedy, it's important to rise stronger than before. Jessica Horde is here to talk about Heroes Build Day on behalf of Habitat for Humanity. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good.
How did Heroes Build Day come to be?
Well, as we all know, September 11th has now been designated as a National Day of Service and Remembrance, called Patriot Day. And at Memphis Habitat, we are nothing if not about volunteerism and giving back. And we do have great military volunteers, active duty, retired, reserves, and we kind of had the thought that they like to come out to the build site, and it's a day of service. So what better way to recognize their service and recognize our local heroes, and also be reverent and give honor to the people that gave their lives years ago, than to have them come out to the build site and take part in a habitat build.
So the habitat builds, I've seen them over the years. It's amazing. I've always wondered where all the people come from.
Well, for this specific day, we did have people from various branches of the armed forces, reserves, and things like that. But in a typical build, we could have them from a school, a college, a local company, a local faith-based organization, a church, a synagogue, what have you. Yeah. Really, the volunteers come from anywhere. They can be 16 and older, and you don't have to have any experience. We show you what to do.
Are you signing up for like a long-term deal, or is it a one-day deal? How does that work?
Well, it really varies. Generally, our house building partners, those that help fund the building, get first crack at the build site. They get the priority, but we do have openings from time to time that we put out on our website, memphishabitat.com, and people can go there to sign up. And we have other opportunities.
Do you have to be a certain age to get out on the build site?
You do. 16 and older for the build site, 14 and older for our Habitat Restore, which is a great opportunity for students to come and volunteer. It's inside and, on the weekends too.
Well, you guys always do a great job. Habitat for, and I tell you, those houses go up pretty fast.
It takes about 8 to 11 days. So we do it really quickly at Memphis Habitat. We're pretty proud to show folks what some volunteers that maybe have never touched a hammer can do in a few days.
All right, thanks, Jess, for talking about that today. It's never too late to volunteer. And for more information about Habitat for Humanity, you can visit our website, our My Fox Memphis Facebook page. We've got a link there on the site. Jessica, thanks again. I'm Ernie Freeman for Good Morning Memphis. Back to you, Kristen.
All right, thanks so much, Ernie. We know that heroes are everywhere, but we want your help recognizing them. Nominate a serviceman or servicewoman to be our Hero of the Week. All you have to do is send an email to news@myfoxmemphis and write a brief bio telling why this person deserves to be selected. Make sure to write Hero of the Week in the subject line. You can also send us a message on our My Fox Memphis Facebook page. Once recognized as one of the top 10 greatest neighborhoods in the country, the Cooper Young area definitely knows how to have a good time. And fortunately, we are just a few hours away from the annual Cooper Young Festival. Here to tell us more about this year's event is booth organizer Chuck Parr. Chuck, thanks for being with us on a busy weekend, I know, for you.
It's crazy, I know. We're going to have great weather. What a deal.
Absolutely. 26th year, and things have certainly changed over the years. You have a lot of vendors and bands this year.
We've got 427 vendors coming from all over the United States. We've got 30 bands on 3 stages. We've got food vendors. We'll be selling beer. No dogs. We don't want dogs in the festival. We don't want any dog fights or messes to clean up. But yeah, it's going to be really great. We're looking forward to it.
And of course, plenty to do for the whole family, the kiddos.
We have a children's area in the Tsunami parking lot, if anyone knows where Tsunami is in the Cooper Young area. And there's snow cones and Pronto Pups and plenty for kids to do, and lots of shopping. I'll actually have a booth there. I sell retro 1920s through 60s art and accessories, vintage clothes, magazines, dishes, stuff like that. It's my 25th year to do the festival.
And you've moved this year.
Yes, I've always been on the corner right in front of Cafe Olay, right on the corner, and I've actually moved myself down to the corner of Nelson near Soulfish because it's only 3 houses away from my house. So
well, that's convenient.
Yeah, what a deal. I got older, you know.
And what about, is there anything new that we need to know about the festival this year?
You know, the main thing is, you know, the festival's supposed to start at 9 o'clock, but vendors will be setting up starting at 7. And, you know, we ask people to, you know, park, to park if you can, west of the festival so that you don't get in the way of the Mid-South Classic, because they'll all be parking on the east side of the festival.
Sure.
And we're all going at the same time this year, so it's going to be a lot of people in the neighborhood.
Yeah, competing for parking spots. Is there anything that people need to know if they're coming out to the festival, something they might want to remember to bring along, like cash or anything like that?
Definitely. You know, a lot of the vendors don't take credit cards. We do have a couple of credit card ATM machines in the festival area, but personally, I don't take checks or cash. I mean, checks or credit
You'll
cards.
take cash.
But I'll take cash all day long.
Cold hard cash.
And I'll send you to the ATM to get the cash too. So
Absolutely.
and don't bring your dogs. That's a big thing.
Okay,
you know?
yeah. We all love our dogs and we want to take them
I love
everywhere.
mine too,
but
yeah.
but absolutely, it's just one of those times this weekend. It's just for people. That's okay.
That's at our festival. It is. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Chuck, thank you for coming in this morning.
I appreciate you having me. It's good.
Well, and we also have the information for people if they do want to attend the festival. We've got it on our screen. And remember, things will be kicking off later on this morning. We'll be right back.